Talmor, Shishin Marachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming, and death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
The thing that I fought tooth and nail to bring my son into is Dungeons and Dragons. That is the ultimate solution to parenthood.
I'm Alexis Ohanian. In my podcast, Business Dad, I'm hoping to open up the conversation about balancing careers and family. I talked to Rainn Wilson. I wanted to learn more about Rainn's advice to play D&D with your kids. Business Dad is available now, so be sure to listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello. Welcome back to Thanks for Coming In. I'm your host, Jillian Clare. I can't believe it's episode 3, you guys. I can't believe it's here. We've done 2 full episodes. This is the 3rd. I know I can count. It's amazing, right? I'm really excited about this. It's been a lot of fun staring at the wall in my office and talking to friends and feeling a little more normal. Now, I know this episode isn't going to come out until June, but I'm recording this in May. Kind of wanted to get a couple on the can before I started releasing the show. So I'm not sure what the world is like out there in June. June, I hope you're better than May. I would love to see a friend or two sometime soon, but I know that we're all staying safe and helping keep this virus under control-ish. Maybe it's a little more under control in June. I don't know. But that's not what this podcast is for. This podcast is to lift your spirits and hear a couple funny stories. Today on the show, we have Michael Campion. You know him from Fuller House. He's super funny, super young, and he's probably going to take over the world, which I would totally support. So everybody, give a warm welcome to Michael Campion. Michael, hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm here in my office. Kind of bored today, but that's all right. I have this interview. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, it's something to look forward to.
Definitely. There's not much to look forward to nowadays.
No, there's not. I know. When I started this, I was like, I just need something to do, truly.
Exactly. Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah, gives us something to do. So, you're only 17. You're just a baby.
I am 17. I'm going to be 18 in July, actually.
Really? What's your birthday?
July 26th is my birthday.
Oh my gosh, I'm the 25th.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Woo woo, Leo's in the house.
Heck yeah, let's go.
I love it. Oh my God, so you're almost 18. Do you have any big plans for being 18?
Any big plans, man? I wish I could tell you. I mean, my birthdays since like 10 have been pretty low key. I think 18 is big, but what's the first thing I'm gonna do as an adult? I mean, you know those commercials that say like you have to be 18 years older,
Yep.
18 years old or older to call. I'm gonna call those and I'm gonna buy something. That's what I'm gonna
You're gonna buy something? That's amazing. I went to there's a casino out by Palm Springs called Morongo, and you only have to be 18 to go to that casino.
Oh.
So I went to that casino and I bought lottery tickets from a gas station, and that was my big 18.
That sounds a little bit more eventful than calling a commercial.
Yeah. Well, who knows what we'll actually be able to do by then? So, you know,
Yeah,
a commercial might be big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was trying to keep it low key. I didn't want to put myself too out there.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so you're about to be 18, but you started in the industry pretty young. So tell me about how you got into this crazy world of acting that we love so much.
Yeah, man, I can't really remember a time where I wasn't performing in some way or another. Pretty much out of the womb, I was this big extroverted kid who would just go up to strangers and talk to them, and I loved, presenting. I didn't, before I even knew like what presenting was. My mom told me a story about when I was 3, and she put me in this Halloween costume competition, and I dressed up as Elvis, and I was quote unquote working with
Nice.
judges. Yeah, and I actually won like first place in the big prize. Anyways, so my point is, I've been doing this a long time, but the actual like industry, I think I got into when I was like 6. I did my very first like professional commercial. Um, but my biggest thing obviously has been Fuller House, and that's taught me,
Right.
so much more about the industry, way deeper, all that good stuff.
All the fun stuff that you get to learn after being on a set for so long.
It's honestly really great when you are not in a toxic environment, because I know a lot of
Yeah.
yeah. It can be amazing, but it can also be a nightmare.
It's true. I just had a binge episode of Community, and I went through the whole thing, and it's interesting because all of a sudden Chevy Chase just disappears from the show, and I looked it up, and there was like a bunch of awful things going on behind the scenes, and I was like, oh, I get it. Okay, that's fine that he's gone. Never mind. Let's move on.
Oh my gosh, it's so that just leaves a pit in my stomach, because I definitely don't want to experience anything like that.
No.
But knowing that, other shows are operating under those conditions just makes me sad, because, Fuller House was honestly near perfection, like chemistry wise, for everyone. Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, so before we get to your story, because I think it revolves around that, if I'm correct.
It does indeed, yes.
Okay, so before we get there, I want to go back and talk about your theater experience a little bit, because I saw that you were in a Pasadena Civic show recently. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So, theater. I love theater. Have you been doing that for a long time since you started?
I have been doing theater for quite some time. I didn't really count that as me being in the business, but I would say that me acting has gone, like officially acting was, I think I was about 5. And my very first role ever in anything was in Oompa Loompa in Willy Wonka. So that was very fun. That kind of kickstarted my whole acting situation.
Please tell me there was orange makeup involved.
Oh, there was so much orange makeup. It was beautiful.
Amazing.
Oh, it was great. So I had all the orange makeup, and I fell in love with like this community theater called the Magic Curtain in Florida. I live in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, wow.
So from there, I would do every play that they had. I mean, whether it was like a fairy tale thing or just like a one-off show, I was always involved. I loved doing it, and I usually got one of the principal characters. I was like the prince in most of the fairy tale stories.
Prince Charming.
Prince Charming, like 7-year-old me, Prince Charming. I was like Jafar. I was a scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz. So a lot of really great.
How fun!
Yeah. I had been doing theater for quite some time before I transitioned into like film and TV. But this most recent one that I did, I just forgot how fun theater was, truly, because like you really feel like you're a family with these people.
Yeah.
Because we all traveled out of state. We all went to North Carolina, and we were in this new environment. We had to stick together, and we became really close, and it was awesome. But besides that, just being in theater is the craziest experience, because you're on stage, you're live, like everyone's there, you're laughing, like they're
you typically have at least 2 costumes on, because you never know when you're gonna have to throw that other one off and put the other one on.
Exactly. Quick changes are huge. You have to have lots of experience in that. I remember just like bolting up the stairs trying to get to my dressing room for the next scene. I was like, oh no. So I had to kind of get that learning curve down, because I never really had to do quick changes before when I was little.
They're crazy. They're crazy. I remember when I was a kid and I had to have like my pajamas over my finale beautiful dress.
Right.
And so it would be just go backstage and throw the pajamas off and go back out in like 10 seconds. It's crazy what theater actors are able to do so quickly.
Oh my gosh, it's like magic. I don't know how the other professionals do it so fast. I just barely got there on time. I was like out of breath coming down for the next.
You're like, hold on, like just give me a second. Give me a second, okay?
1 second. Yeah.
Speaking of magic, I saw that on your Instagram, you do magic and you're a part of the Magic Castle. What the heck, man?
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like there hasn't been a time where I wasn't performing, and magic is just kind of another outlet for me. When I was 8, my aunt and uncle, who were clowns for the Ringling Brothers Circus, actually got me
What?
a magic kit. Yeah, for my 8th birthday. And man, I come from a very magical family. My
No
mom,
kidding. You guys
she
sound dope.
yeah, yeah. My mom is a fairy godmother at Disney World
Oh
in
my
Orlando,
gosh.
Florida. Uh-huh. Yep. So my mom's whole side, they're all performers. I got the performing gene.
Oh, you were born to do this.
A little bit, yeah. But the Magic Castle situation came about because, well, I hadn't been doing magic for a while. I kind of set it aside because Fuller House was taking a lot of priority in school and
Mhm.
stuff, and that was just kind of hard to balance. I was in this new place, a lot of new things were going on. But
Right.
when I heard about the Magic Castle like junior program, also for people who don't know what the Magic Castle is, it's this I guess
It's
you
like
would
it's
say
like a club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a club for magicians, and it's this mansion, like this like Victorian style mansion in the middle of Hollywood, and
Mhm.
people can go there only like by exclusive invite from magicians that are in the circle, and they can go there. They can have dinner or brunch, and there's various different showrooms that you can go see live magic, and it's beautiful inside there. It's very small,
So
it's very
stunning.
dark. Oh, it's amazing. It's just such a unique experience.
And no cell phones, which is the best rule.
0 cell phones. You cannot
I
take
love
any
it.
pictures. Oh, I love it so much. And there's a very strict dress code. They won't let you in. It's literally like this surreal time bubble where you're just in this magical realm for a bit. Anyways, I was fortunate enough to get into the junior program by audition. They only hold like 2 auditions per year, and they only let like 3 out of the 24 kids in at a time. It's really
Whoa.
crazy. Yeah, so I had a very strict set of things that I had to abide by. Like I could
Hmm.
not go over 5 minutes, or else I was like instantly disqualified.
Holy
Um,
crud.
I know. And the material had to show like who I was, and it had to be close up, and it was a little bit stressful, but nothing I couldn't really handle just
Mhm.
because I've been doing magic for so long. And now
And the acting chops had to come in handy as well.
I think that's why I'm a good magician. Yeah, because
Probably.
because I've been acting for so long, it just really transfers over into acting is a very transferable skill for a lot of things.
It does help with a lot.
Yeah. But now I'm performing brunch there, and it's really great. Anyone who wants to come see me when it opens back up, come and see me on the weekend.
That's so fun. I've gone to Magic Castle a couple times, and I'm one of those people that when I watch magic, I just kind of like scream internally because I'm like, how are you doing this?
How are
And
you blowing my mind?
Yeah, how are you blowing my mind? And I'm definitely the person, the big showroom that they have. I'm definitely the person in the big showroom who sits in the back and like screams when things happen because I'm like, there's no way this can actually be real.
You
It's
are the
crazy.
best spectator ever. I
Oh.
love spectators like you.
It blows my mind. Like I literally cannot handle it. I saw David Blaine as well, and I legit nearly walked out because I was just so mind blown. I was like, I can't deal with this. It's too much for me.
I love being on the other end and being able to like deliver that experience to people.
Oh, man.
Because I get fooled so easily. Everyone makes fun of me because I'm not very like technically inclined with magic. Like I don't know how a lot of the tricks work, because
Yeah.
that's just not like I know some guys who go really deep into theory, and I still get my mind blown. I'm like, whoa, dude, that was crazy.
That's me. I'm
Yeah,
that way.
so I feel the same way.
Oh gosh, yeah. My friends love to take me to the Magic Castle purely to watch my reaction because I lose it. I lose it.
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love for you to come to Magic Castle and see
I
me. I will
will.
pick you every time
Yes.
for all the tricks I have to do.
Yes, when it reopens, I will come see you just so that I can sit there and scream.
I'll get you a front row seat. It'll be amazing.
Thank you.
You can shop from anywhere doing pretty much anything. You might shop while working, eating, or even listening to this podcast. And however you shop, we all know and love the thrill of the hunt. But do you also know how to get the thrill of the best deals? Because Rakuten shoppers do. With Rakuten, they get the deals they love with the most savings and cash back. And you can get it too. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Sephora, Nike, and even Expedia if you're looking to get some travel in. And getting cash back doesn't mean you have to miss out on sales because those can just be stacked right on top. It's easy to use and based on a simple idea. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cash back through PayPal or check. Download the free Rakuten app and never miss a deal. Or go to Rakuten.com to start getting the most bang for your buck. That's Rakuten. As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But we also sell merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell and grow at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. They have an all-in-one e-commerce platform and in-person POS system, so wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. With the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers. Shopify has allowed us to share something tangible with the podcast community we've built here, selling our beanies, sweatshirts, and mugs to fans of our shows without taking up too much time from all the other work we do to bring you even more great content. And it's not just us. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Shopify is also the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/REALM now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
Okay, so now that we've talked a little, let's do your story. I'm so excited to hear this.
I do have a bit of a story. I do. And it does revolve around Fuller House. And this is sort of the role that got away, but
Ish.
a lot of stuff happened. So let me just explain. Okay. So let's go back to like 2016.
Okay.
This is June, I'm pretty sure, and I'm in Florida. I'm 12 years old, and I got this audition for an untitled sitcom, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so
love when that happens.
Right. And so I read the part and I self-tape it with my acting coach, who I go to for all of my self-tapes. And I didn't really think much of it. I was like, okay, I did my part. Let's see what happens. And then I got a call back. And I was like, oh, this is great news. Got a call back. Still untitled sitcom. They just gave me a few notes and I was like, all right, I did it again. No problem. Then the third time they called, I was getting a little bit like, oh shoot, like this is for real. And then in the email, they said, this is Fuller House, like the sequel to Full House. I know. And
that's when you just immediately lose it and you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. And
my heart just like sank. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so much bigger than I thought it was. And I loved Full House. I mean, I watched it on Nick at Night with my mom and along with like friends and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, George Lopez. So this was a lot on me. It was like, Mom, like I really got to do good. And she's like, okay, like let's figure this out. So I go in for my third audition, and they wanted me to like wear something specific and have my hair specific, and usually that doesn't happen unless they're really liking your performance. So I did the best I could, and then came the fourth audition, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I had such butterflies, but at that point they were like personally emailing me and telling me notes about the character, and I was like, okay, be calm, stay calm, do the part, do the thing, because it's so rare that you get this far, and even when you get this far, it's hard to tell how good you're doing because you could get all there and then like, nope, he's not tall enough, or oh, we don't like his hair color. So that's a little disheartening. And that thought was just in the back of my mind the entire time. But again, I did the best I could. I was wearing this Uncle Jesse type like vest, and I was supposed to be like the bad boy. The character was much different in the beginning.
I was gonna say, this does not sound like the Fuller House I'm watching.
This is not Jackson. No. Well,
No.
first of all, his name was JD.
Oh wow!
I guess
How
I guess a
cool!
play on DJ. I mean,
okay, yeah. That's interesting.
It's a bit on the nose. I think his name
Yeah, a
was
little
like
bit.
Jackson Douglas. I don't know what it was. Anyway, so I send in my fourth tape, and then I was like, okay, just stay calm, wait to hear anything, and I didn't hear anything back for maybe like a week or two, and I was like, okay, that's normal, I guess. I hope everything is all right.
Right.
And I go in for a completely separate audition that had nothing to do with it, and I just kind of forgot about it because I was like, this happens. Sometimes they don't call back. Like I just kind of prepared myself.
As an actor, you kind of have to learn how to let go of the roles that you really want every once in a while because they don't actually come your way.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, hey, you know what? I did my best. That's all I could do. So I'm going in for this completely separate project called like Mom or like Mother's Day or something. It was a feature film. And as I'm taping this audition, my mother, who's sitting in the waiting room, she gets an email and says that we want to see Michael on tape right this second. We need a tape right now. And we're like, oh, what the heck? So I was there doing a completely separate audition, and we just scrambled to like learn this material like right away, do it, and tape it right that second. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Like it was like panic mode. And I get all my lines. I looked them over. We had to go out and buy new clothes because they wanted other stuff. And I come back, and me and Kia, my acting coach, Miss Kia, we taped this thing like to the best of our ability, like we really were like shaping, like refining and making sure the take was like absolutely perfect before we sent it in. And we sent it in, and literally an hour later, they're like, okay. So what happened was they wanted me to go out to California, but we didn't know this. It was a bit of a miscommunication between my manager and the people who were taping for Warner Brothers and Netflix. And somehow it got lost in translation that I was supposed to go out there, and I didn't go out there for my final audition when I was supposed to for the tape. So it was this big blunder that happened, and I was like, no, are you kidding me right now? This is insane. And they literally got another Jackson. They got another Jackson in the part.
What?
So at this point, I literally lost the part. I lost it. Like, I was like, okay, this is zero hope. No done. I'm just shutting out of my brain.
Oh, no.
Okay, they had another Jackson. I don't know if you can go any farther into, okay, I lost the role than literally losing the role.
Losing the role, yeah, it's gone.
So it's gone. It's lost. I'm like, okay, doesn't matter. We're all good. We're all fine. And then 3 days later, we get another call saying that they didn't like that Jackson. It didn't that much. So I'm just like, I don't even know what to think. My mind's already scattered. It's already, I mean, I'm like 12, mind you.
I was gonna say you're just not even a teen yet. You're 12 years old, and you're just going, what the hell?
Right. I'm going, what the hell is going on? And they're like, okay, we want you to come out to LA right this second. And we're like, okay, right this second's a little crazy. How about if we go early in the morning? So I go home, I pack, and I'm like, the whole time I'm going over my lines, I'm stressing out. I'm like, I'm going to LA. This is only like the third time I've ever been in LA. And,
wow.
And so I show up at the airport. This is like 6 a.m. And I woke up at like 3 to get on a flight that was like at 4. And then we had a 5-hour flight and like the 3-hour time difference. So we get picked up by this actual limousine.
No, really? How cool.
oh my gosh, what is going on right now? So I'm telling you, everything was this surreal 24-hour turnaround. So we get in the airport. I'm sorry, we get in the limousine. We go to Warner Brothers Studios, like the studios.
Right.
So I couldn't really comprehend that I was on this lot right this second. And we go into like one of their casting offices, but nothing was open because we got there at an ungodly hour. So we're like, what do we do? Where do I stay? And the security guard was nice enough to open up like the employee break room for us.
Oh my gosh.
And so we're there before everyone else, and we're sitting in the employee break room. Like I was doing my makeup and I was getting my lines ready, and I was just a place to chill. We had our bags with us, like from the airport,
Oh
uh,
my lord.
and we after like would seem like days, like a couple hours passed, and everything opened, and someone came and got us. Her name is Alexa. She was the casting agent. I didn't know that at the time. And she's like, okay, hey, Michael, we're, seeing everyone now. And so we go back into these long corridors of just office spaces. And on the walls, I remember very distinctly, they had all the projects that had been filmed there, like The
Mm,
Flash and
yeah.
like, Dexter. And I was like, whoa, like this is for real. Like this is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just another part to the surrealness. Anyway, so I go to this waiting place. There's one other person there, one other kid my age.
Okay.
He goes in first. Again, I cannot express to you the amount of butterflies that were in my stomach at that point. The other kid goes in. I'm waiting. He comes out. Then they want to see me. I go into this place, and it was not your typical like casting office place. It kind of looked like a small presentation room where
Mm.
there was like these rows of desks,
Oh gosh.
and I
Was
had
it
to
one
get
of
this like
those
place to.
auditions where there were like 30 people?
There was like 30 people. There
Oh
was
no.
definitely like
Those are the
30 people.
worst.
And I was like, oh, okay. So there's a lot of people here.
Oh
I found out it was all the writers and the director and the casting agents and everyone. So I go on to my mark. The lights are in my face. They're blinding me, and I can't really see anyone. I do my thing almost on autopilot because I had just engraved it in my brain so hard. They laughed. It was a great time. I went back to the waiting room, and then after a few minutes, someone came out and was like, hey, to the other kid, hey,
Mhm.
you're good to go, Michael. Just one more thing before we go, we have to tell you about your hotel information. And I was like,
Mm.
okay, all right, I guess this is my hotel information. And my mom and I, we go into the room that I was casting in, and all the people are kind of gathered in a circle, and we're like,
Uh,
what
what's going on?
what's going on? What's going on? And like, there's like a camera pointed towards me, and
Oh
I'm like,
no.
what's going on here? And Bob Boyette, the one who's like the president of like Warner Horizon,
Mhm.
he said something along the lines of uh, Michael, like congratulations on getting the part, like welcome to the
Wow.
Fuller and Netflix family. And I started crying right then and there. I started crying.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
would too. That's
I,
so huge.
but like this again was not your typical audition process
No,
because
not at all.
because not only did they tell me in the room that I had gotten the part, which is only something that like happens in movies, like
Yeah.
that like usually it's like weeks that you hear anything, or at least it happens through like an email. It happened right there, right then in the room, and they started rehearsing with the other Jackson. So I was
Oh,
putting
crud.
right a day before they needed to start filming. So guess what I had to do? I had to get the entire script, learn all of it. I had to go back to my hotel room the next morning. I get my hair cut. I'm in this new environment. I have to do a scene with a person live for a TV show, and it all happened within 24 hours. And it was just this whole this shock that I still am not over. There's still a lingering bit still in the back of my mind that I'm pinching myself every time I even step close to Warner Brothers, because it's such a blessing that all that happened in by the way, it happened the week of my birthday. I got put
No
down the week
way!
of my birthday. Yep.
Oh my gosh,
I was
what a great birthday present.
I was turning 13 on the set, which is
Oh,
crazy.
I love birthdays on sets. That's my favorite thing.
I got so many presents. It was great.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a crazy like whirlwind for you. And also, it's just bizarre to me because usually with, series, you'll do chemistry reads too with the people who are, playing opposite you, the people that have already been cast. So it's
Right.
wild that you just literally flew in and they were like, "Yep, that's it. You're it.
No,
Moving on."
all of that because
Wow.
they had chemistry reads with the other Jackson and things,
Yeah.
but he didn't fit the chemistry of the family, I guess. I don't even know the reason. They were very vague about the reason. Still to this day, I don't know.
Well, it happens. I mean, I mentioned this in the first episode too, but I'm going to mention it again because I think it's the craziest story. Eric Stoltz, who was a big 80s movie actor, was the original Marty McFly in Back to the Future and shot for 6 weeks before getting fired for chemistry reasons.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy, but it happens.
And that's so scary to me that I will work
it's
my
terrifying.
butt off for a role. I'll have it, think everything is fine, and then nope, we don't like you. Bye. That's
Yeah, it's terrifying. I've replaced somebody on a show after they'd been fired, and it was like a quick turnaround as well. I had to like go in really quickly, record a song, go do all this stuff, and be filming this entire thing in 3 days. And I thought it was the most bizarre thing of my life. And I also feel really bad for the person who got fired, obviously, but just it's crazy when a whirlwind experience happens like that, especially one that's so life-changing for you.
so life-changing. My life has turned 180. Like everything happened all at once in a good way, and
Wow.
gosh, it's amazing.
Okay, so you're here, you're in LA, right? And you do the pilot. So do you automatically start the rest of the season? Like what happened? Were you just living in a hotel or did you guys eventually just say,
So
"Okay, well I guess we're staying here."
right. So here's the extended version, I guess. So after I started filming, we had 2 weeks of filming, and then it was a hiatus. So
Mhm.
I packed for 2 days, and I stayed there for 2 weeks,
Oh god.
and I did 2 episodes because 1 week equaled 1 episode.
Mhm.
And then I flew back to Florida and I gathered all of my things and we were like, okay, we're staying out here for the rest of the year, I guess. And literally it took from July all the way through, I believe, November. And then
Wow.
I was still, I was still in school. Like all this happened where I was starting
Oh
to.
yeah, you probably didn't have like homeschooling then yet, right?
No. I
Oh
was in
wow.
regular school. So first of all, that was an abomination trying to balance going to regular school and
Oh yeah. No, it doesn't work. It does
no,
not work.
does not work at all. I had a full-time job and full-time school, which
Yeah.
for most kids, school is their full-time job.
Right. Yeah,
So
you can't balance it. I tried balancing it too when I was around that age and I just learned that there was no way to do it.
you absolutely cannot balance it unless you have a homeschool program, and
Yeah.
that's the only way. So that first year was a big learning curve for everything. I learned so much in such a short amount of time. My brain was fried. Like I needed
Wow.
like a big rest. So we went back and I stayed in Florida until the next season, which was starting like February. And by then I started to get more acquainted. I knew everyone. I knew the process. I knew what I was getting myself into. But it was still so new, and I was
Right.
growing so much as an actor. So in short, it was, gosh, like
It's such a
it's not
Cinderella
it's
story.
great. Oh, Cinderella story is an understatement for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but it does not happen often, and
No.
for the times that it does happen, I like to share it because it lets people know that these things actually happen to people. It's not just a thing in the movies. And if it happens to you, count your blessings because that's incredible.
It's true. It doesn't happen very often. I love these types of stories because it reminds all of us that anything can happen at any point in your career.
Yeah, and there have been plenty of roles where I've been in the opposite position where I'll get really close and then they'll be like, "Hey, sorry." And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, "Oh, okay. All right.
All right, I'm just going to go cry in my room now for
I
a
will
week.
try just for a
Yeah,
little bit."
basically. It's just like, let me be depressed for a week and then I'll come back to regular life at some point.
Yeah, and that's what acting is. It's just a lot of failure. But I think
Mm-hmm.
I've recently started to shift my mindset in the sense where I'm enjoying the process of auditioning a lot more.
That's good.
I've had to, because now that Fuller House is done, it was actually really funny. Not that Fuller House is done. Going back to normal auditions was difficult because
Yeah.
I was like reading these auditions and I would do it like a sitcom every time.
Oh, no.
Untrain my mind. So
Oh, no.
I going to like acting classes was cool, and
Yeah.
like relearning all that really helped me grow as an actor. I really want the next thing for me to do like a dramatic role.
Yeah, I was going to say, now that you've, grown up on a sitcom, where do you want your career to head now that that's over and now that you're really entering your adult years?
Right. Now that it's over, I want to show my dramatic side. And I love movies. I've always loved shooting movies.
Me too.
Doing stuff on like a set that is stable and you have a TV show is great as well. Please don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I want kind of a change of pace. I like not knowing where I'm gonna be on location the next day. Like that's kind of an adventure
It's fun.
for me. Yeah, it's very
I've always
fun.
found TV shows to be too monotonous for how I like to live. I like to be in something for a few months and then move on to something else.
Yeah, and I think that after 5 years, I'm feeling that way just a little bit because I
Yeah.
want, I want that. I obviously don't want to go too far. I think that money has been another issue for me. So like I don't know, but I would love to get a film anywhere, anytime, as long as I'm doing some kind of character that's a little bit more dramatic than, of course, a sitcom character.
Yeah. That's so fun. Wow, what a story you had. That's crazy stuff. I love that. So much fun.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. It's been
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show. That was super cool, and I'm super excited to see where you land and what you do next. And it's gonna be a fun adventure for you. You have so many years to be an actor. It's gonna be great to see all the things that you become.
I certainly hope so. And hey, if you seriously want to come to the Magic Castle, email Turk and I will get you in at any point. It'll be a great
I
time.
am so in. I cannot wait. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Fantastic.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again to Michael for coming in and sharing his story with us. That was a wild ride. That kid's probably going to take over the world one day. I bet my stapler on it. I don't know why I bet a stapler. Anyway, make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to it now. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cat. And I'll see you next week. As always, thanks for coming in.
Nowadays, trends and news cycles change faster than we can blink. But there are some things that withstand the test of time. And if you're looking for a connection to something timeless, and maybe also a glimpse of life at a slower pace, I believe everyone can relate to the very human experiences explored in Jane Austen's novels. And that's where I come in. My name is Alison Larkin. I'm a writer, comedian, and narrator and host of the Jane Austen podcast with Alison Larkin. I spent a lot of my childhood in the part of England where Jane Austen lived and wrote, and now that I live in the States, nothing gives me a sense of homecoming quite like narrating her books. On this show, you'll listen to award-winning narration. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. As well as conversations with actors, writers, and other fascinating people who all share a passionate love for Jane Austen. So please, join me as we embark on a wonderful journey through Jane Austen's work. Be sure to listen and subscribe to The Jane Austen Podcast with Alison Larkin, wherever you get your podcasts.